Natrience, the alliance of nature and science.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Week 6 Natrience training call. Today is July 31st. We're excited that we are on our 6th call and have had 5 previous weeks of really great information. And it's so great to see so many of you joining us week after week. We really appreciate you being with us on these Natrience training calls. So we've got today's call, and then we have 2 more calls after this. Sisel, Holly, and I are very grateful to have each one of you joining us week after week. And we've got some really great information to share with you today. In the past few weeks, we've talked about the products and the various steps in our Natrience regimen. We've talked about our cleanse and exfoliate step with our Pure Balance jelly cleanser and our exfolium polishing peel. We've talked about the target and treat step with our Celanew skin perfecting serum and our 3 boosters, Go Bright, Go Clear, and Go Firm. And last week we talked about the moisturizing step and talked about Hydrolite and Hydro Rich. So today we're excited to talk about the 4th step in the regimen, which is the protection step. And today we're really going to dive into our Skin Shield Mineral Sunscreen Lotion. I'll go ahead and just start off on this slide with the benefits for Skin Shield Mineral Sunscreen Lotion. So as we've talked about all of the products in our line, we really like to talk about how the products are supporting your healthy skin and what they're doing to to help increase the health of our skin. So this product has a lot of really great benefits. First and foremost, is protecting our skin from harmful UV rays. So that would be UVA and UVB rays, so the harmful effects of the sun. In addition to that, this product is defending our skin from the damaging effects of blue light. We talked about blue light last week. We'll talk about that a little bit more this week as well as the environmental stressors. So Skin Shield has some fabulous ingredients that are protecting against all of those harmful environmental conditions that our skin faces each day. It's also a really fabulous moisturizer. It's got very lightweight moisture, but very effective moisture. This is a product that, as we go through our discussion today, we'll talk about how this product can be not only a protective product for our skin, but a moisturizer. And you could use this as a daytime moisturizer in place of one of the other moisturizers if you'd like. This product has barrier repair and helps to improve our skin's barrier function. It actually helps to improve the moisture levels within our skin, as well as defending and improving the overall barrier of the skin. It's supporting our skin's healthy microbiome. We talked about, I think it was maybe in our 2nd or 3rd call, we talked a bit more about the skin's microbiome and how, just like in our gut, our skin is the largest organ of our body, and our skin has this, these millions and billions of little microbes and organisms that make up our microbiome. And we need to keep our skin's microbiome healthy and functioning well in order for our skin to really be healthy. So this product has a unique ingredient that is helping to support skin's microbiome. A couple of things that we're going to get into a little bit later, a little bit more, are that this product is free from chemical sunscreens and it is reef safe. So actually, I do want to talk a little bit more about the reef safe right now. When we are talking about chemical sunscreens, this product is a mineral sunscreen. So we're free from chemical sunscreens, and that's really what makes this product reef safe. So actually, I'm going to wait for just a minute and talk a little bit more about the reef safe aspects of this product in just a minute. But you can see that in addition to having awesome sunscreen protection against UVA and UVB rays, that there are a lot of really great benefits to this product. I'm going to have Holly talk through some of the hero ingredients that make up this formulation and why this formulation is so special.
Thanks, Karen. Hi, everybody. It's good to see you again. So, as you can see on the slide here, that we have a lot of hero ingredients in our Skin Shield because we love it so much. We have the zinc oxide, which is what makes it a natural mineral sunscreen. It blocks the ultraviolet rays with broad spectrum protection from both UVA and UVB rays. And then we have the spirulina maxima. This is the ingredient that helps prevent digital aging from blue light, as well as photo aging from sun exposure, and helps in the cellular repair process of our skin. And we have the fructooligosaccharides that help support that microbiome that Karen was talking about, the good and the bad. This really helps it stay healthy. And then we have the beetroot extract that provides immediate and long-term hydration and increased moisture levels within the skin. We have the Phaeodactylum tricornum and Helianthus anus, shield skin from pollution by supporting cellular longevity in these urban environments that we live in. So this is really good for the pollution protection. And then we have the rhodophyce that helps skin adapt to challenging environmental stressors. That's an adaptogen. And the calcium sodium borosilicate imparts a soft focus effect for a luminous glow. So this just kind of helps blend and minimize the appearance of your pores. As you can see, we have a lot of hero ingredients that we love here in this product. There's more, but these are just the ones we pulled out to highlight.
Yeah, thanks, Holly. So as Holly said, really fabulous ingredients here. You know, it's a small, compact product, but when you look at the ingredient list, there's a lot of awesome ingredients in this product. And those are just a few of the main hero ingredients that Holly's just mentioned to us. I want to get a little bit into some of the science behind this product now. Let's talk about skin aging for just a minute. Skin cancer is the most common cancer in the United States and worldwide. So it's a problem. It's a challenge around the world. It's, being the most common type of cancer. It's something that personally, I feel like we can prevent, or we can help to mitigate by using a really great sunscreen product. An estimated 80% of skin aging is caused by the sun. So not only is the sun causing skin cancer for millions of people around the world, but it's actually causing premature skin aging as well. So it's contributing to things like the loss of collagen and elastin, which make our skin appear less firm over time and, kind of get that sagging appearance. It contributes to age spots and dark spots. So all of that,
80% is a lot.
Yeah, all of those, harmful effects of the sun are contributing to skin cancer and skin aging. This I thought was a really interesting note here. People who use sunscreen with an SPF of at least 15 or higher daily show 24% less skin aging than those who do not use sunscreen. And here in the US, the Academy of Dermatology actually recommends using an SPF 30 daily, which is what our Skin Shield is, an SPF 30. So let's go into a few little definitions here and kind of dive into ultraviolet protection. So as you're looking at this slide that we've got up on the screen right now, we see UVA and UVB. We talked a little bit about UVA and UVB last week when we were talking about blue light. But I want to just give a reminder here that UVA are the aging rays, and they're penetrating really deep into our skin. They're going all the way down into the dermal layer. So those are the rays that are damaging collagen and elastin, even down into like the melanin, the melanocytes of the skin. So causing dark spots and hyperpigmentation. And then we have the UVB rays. They don't penetrate as deep. They're absorbed just into the upper layer or the epidermal layer of our skin, but those are the burning rays. So that's what is causing sunburn. So together, these two harmful ultraviolet rays, UVA and UVB, are not only affecting negatively the surface of our skin, but even deeper into the skin structure. So what does broad spectrum mean? When you see, there's a few things to really look for on a sunscreen. Broad spectrum is one that's really important. Broad spectrum means that the product is protecting from both UVA and UVB rays. So if you don't see broad spectrum on a sunscreen product, it may not be protecting from both of these harmful rays, both of which can cause skin cancer, and both of which affect and harm the skin in different ways. So our product is broad spectrum and offers that protection across the entire spectrum of UVA and UVB. SPF stands for sun protection factor. And the SPF rating, that's what you'll see on a sunscreen, that sometimes it's as low as a 4. I've seen SPF products that are a 4, and sometimes you'll see those all the way up to 100. And on the next slide, I'm going to talk about the significance of the number. But as I mentioned a minute ago, the American Academy of Dermatologists recommends at least an SPF 30. That's a high strength, and that's protecting from UVB rays. So when you see the SPF number, that's really a measurement or a protection against the UVB, the burning rays. PA, what does that mean? Some of you may not be as familiar with or have ever seen that PA+++ is what we have on our product. PA is, what that means is it's a protection grade of UVA. And, maybe for some of our Australia distributors who are on the phone with us, you might see this in your market. In the US, we don't really see this often. PA it was actually originated in Japan as a scoring system against UVA protection. So if you have any Japanese products or Japanese skincare lines in your market, they're in Australia, you may be more familiar with this PA rating. But here in the US, we don't really see that. It's not something that we see on US brands. But because here at Sisel, we are an international company and we have a fabulous business in Japan, we wanted to do this extra testing on our product. So we did the SPF testing and we also did this PA testing. So we have the clinical testing and the clinical backing to show that we have the SPF 30 number protecting against UVB. And we have this PA+++ rating, which is a very high strength UVA protection. So that's just a little bit of information and education on what that PA rating means on our product. So let's take a look at this chart. This is always really interesting to me. And I remember the first time I saw this chart years ago, a light bulb kind of clicked for me because, I've been in marketing and in product development and worked with skincare products throughout my professional career. And so I'm always interested in looking at products on the market. And I mentioned just a minute ago that, if you were to go into your in a department store or in the pharmacy and look at SPF products, look at sunscreen products, you might see products that have an SPF 4 all the way up to an SPF 100. Well, what does that really mean? And what is the protection that you're actually getting from these different SPF numbers? So if you look at this chart, if you were to look at an SPF 15, an SPF 15 blocks 93.3% of UVB radiation. When you go up from an SPF 15 to an SPF 30, you're going up to blocking 96.7% of UVB radiation. And then if you were to go to an SPF 50, you're only getting 1.3% more protection there. So an SPF 50 is going to protect from 98% of UVB. But then if you go up from 50, it's really negligible. You're really not getting any extra protection. So when we say, and when we think about that, at least here in the US, that the American Academy of Dermatologists recommends an SPF 30, you're really getting the protection that you need, 96.7%. And then when you're seeing these products on the market that would say, SPF 70, I see those a lot, or SPF 100, you're really not getting any extra protection, very negligible amount after you go from 50. So a lot of that is just kind of marketing and a way to probably actually charge more money for a product. But because in consumers' minds, and that's how I was before I saw this chart, I used to think, an SPF 100 is going to be a lot more protection than, say, an SPF 30. But in reality, it's not. So with an SPF 30, you're really getting the protection that you need. And that's what our skin shield is. So just an interesting chart there to see the protection levels from various SPF numbers. Now let's talk a little bit more about a mineral versus a chemical sunscreen. So the active ingredient in our product, as Holly mentioned, is zinc oxide. Zinc is a mineral. It's not a chemical sunscreen. If you were to look at other products on the market, you might see ingredient names like oxybenzone or homosalate or octinoxate. All of those chemical sounding names, those are chemical sunscreen ingredients. So what's the difference between a mineral sunscreen and a chemical sunscreen? Well, first of all, a mineral like zinc oxide is reflecting the UV radiation away from the skin so that it never even absorbs or never even comes into the skin, versus a chemical sunscreen, which is the chemical is absorbing the radiation and converting it into heat. So some of that UV is actually going to be, when you're putting a chemical sunscreen on your skin and it's absorbing into your skin, some of that UV is going to absorb into the skin, into the chemical sunscreen, and then convert it into heat, versus a mineral, which is just blocking it and reflecting it right away from the skin. So it's never absorbing into your skin at all. A mineral sunscreen is acting as a physical barrier, versus a chemical sunscreen, which is penetrating into the skin. So those chemicals are going into your skin.
I like to think of it kind of like which is why it's called skin shield, just a nice shield on the outside of the skin, blocking it from getting in. I love that.
Exactly, just blocking it and reflecting it right back out. A mineral sunscreen provides broad spectrum protection from both UVA and UVB. So we can use one ingredient, zinc oxide, and that is giving us protection from both UVA and UVB, versus on the chemical side, there are some chemicals that block only UVA and some that block only UVB. So typically in a chemical sunscreen formulation, you're going to see a lot of different ingredients listed as the active sunscreen ingredients. A mineral sunscreen is effective immediately upon application. So you could put this on, the zinc is right there acting as a physical barrier on your skin, and you could go right out into the sun. On a chemical sunscreen, you'll see a lot of times on the directions, it'll say apply 20 minutes before going out into the sun, because it takes some time for them to become effective once you apply them. A mineral sunscreen is very unlikely to cause skin irritation because it's a natural ingredient, versus chemical sunscreens, which are often associated with not only irritation, but hormone disruption. And then a mineral sunscreen is reef safe versus a chemical sunscreen, which can be harmful to coral reefs and aquatic organisms. So this is where I wanted to go just into a tiny bit more detail on reef safe. So when you see reef safe, that means that we're only using a mineral sunscreen active ingredient. There are no chemical sunscreens, because it's the chemicals that are, when people use chemical sunscreens and then go into the oceans, these chemicals are actually rinsing off into the water and are harming the coral reefs. There are I'm not sure in Australia, but you may have seen this, but I know here in the US, and there are many beaches in Hawaii and also Florida, which actually will not even let you wear a chemical sunscreen if you're on those beaches. Chemical sunscreens are being prohibited from more and more beaches here in the US because they are harming the sea life and the coral reefs. So the term reef safe, we felt like, is very important, just for our environment, as well as, for the beneficial effects that 100% mineral sunscreen can have on your face. So if you see any of those chemical sounding names on any sunscreen, you know that it's not natural, and it's not mineral, and it's not reef safe. Last week, we shared this slide about blue light, and I just wanted to show this again quickly to share that UVA is penetrating deep into the dermis. The UVB rays, of course, are right on top of the skin, causing the burning in the epidermis. And then blue light is penetrating even deeper than both of these ingredients, or both of these types of rays, these ultraviolet rays. And Holly's going to talk to us a little bit more about the ingredient in Skin Shield that is providing the blue light protection.
All right. So as Karen mentioned, we've talked a lot about blue light over the last few calls. And so just a reminder that we have several different blue light protections throughout the line. The calendula we talked about last week in our Hydrolite and Hydro-Rich. And then we have the Cendesimus rubescens, which is in our Selenu. The calendula is also the one that we had the demo at Mauer Mountain showing the blue light protection from in our Skin Dew as well. In the Skin Shield specifically, we have the spirulina, and it's actually light activated enzyme that comes from a algae originally discovered growing naturally in unpolluted alkaline lakes in Central Africa and Mexico. That's a pretty cool little fact there. These are all natural ingredients that defend the skin against the harmful effects of blue light exposure by blocking, absorbing, and filtering the blue light. And just a reminder too that the blue light on the chart is referred to the HEV, which stands for high energy visible light, and that it penetrates deeper than any of the other light rays. So in my mind, I'm like, yes, I need to make sure I'm protecting against blue light as much as possible because it can get in deeper. It's stronger. I also wear these glasses as much as I can remember because they're blue light. They're like protecting my eyes against the blue light as well. Hopefully I will keep my vision longer. On this next slide, we talk more about the adaptogens. If you remember, we talked about that last week as well, that are natural organisms that live in extreme conditions, such as salt lakes or hot springs, Arctic ice, deep sea, or deserts. So if they can survive there, they can work really well to help protect our skin against our environment. We have several throughout the line, but the two that are specifically in our Skin Shield are the rhodophysae that I talked about earlier. And that one is sourced from red algae occurring in hot sulfur springs in extremely hostile environments, as well as the Phaeodactylum tricornitum. It's upcycled microalgae. It's a byproduct sourced from a microorganism living in seawater. So again, just more natural ingredients to help keep our skin healthy naturally.
Thanks, Holly. And just to kind of give one more overview of all of the fabulous benefits that Skin Shield is providing to our skin. It's 100% mineral active with the zinc oxide. It's got SPF 30. It has the PA+++ rating. It actually offers a really, really nice moisturizing effect as well. And Holly, it must have been on about our second or third call when we talked a lot about the steps. Actually, it might have even been our very first call when we talked about the different regimens. Holly talked about how if you're only going to use 2 products to start, the cleanser and a moisturizer would be the best products to start with. And then as you're adding products, you're adding your different steps and adding the different products. But one of the things that both Holly and I have found that we really like to do with Skin Shield Mineral Sunscreen Lotion is that during the daytime, you can use this as your moisturizer. It provides a really lightweight, non-greasy texture on the skin. So if you're wanting just a really lightweight moisturizer during the daytime, obviously we do have our Hydra Light and Hydra Rich, which we talked about last week, but this product can be used as your daytime moisturizer and skin protectant all in one. It's got the broad spectrum protection from the UVA and UVB. We talked a lot about the chemical-free aspect of this and that it's reef safe. And then one of the really great things, and Holly, you might want to expound on this a little bit as well, is that it has just this really light tint that's great across all skin tones. In fact, as we were trying to decide if we wanted to put a tint in this formulation or not, there were a couple of reasons why we decided to. First of all, zinc oxide can be very whitening on the skin. Sometimes it leaves that little bit of a white cast. So the tint just helps it absorb better and just prevents that whitening effect on the skin. And then we actually tested samples of this in all of our markets across a wide variety of participants and different skin tones, lighter skin tones, darker skin tones. And this hint works really well across all skin tones. So it's not too dark for light tones and it's not too light for dark tones. Holly, did you want to say a little bit more about that tint at all?
Oh, I would just say that it blends really nicely with any undertone. So there's several of us in the office that maybe have some like more pink undertones or some that have more yellow undertones or more olive-y undertones to our skin. And it just seems to blend in with all the different undertones. So it's just really nice. It's not too heavy either. So you can't tell that it's not like you're putting on a foundation or anything like that. It's just really helps blend it in. And again, I'll just touch on the calcium sodium borosylate that is also in this product that helps, I think, with that blending in and just helping it look really soft on your skin. That ingredient also contributes to that as well. I think another thing that just is really nice as far as for all of you who are selling this product, it just helps keep it, what's the word I'm looking for? Comparable to other products that are on the market often. So a lot of times there is a complaint about natural zinc sunscreens having that white cast. And so we wanted to make sure that there wasn't anything that anyone could complain about with our sunscreen. So I think this is a great product. I really love it. I hope that everyone is enjoying it.
Yeah, thanks, Holly. As usual, we'd like to end by just letting you know that if you're not on our email list or our texting service, please let customer service know, and you can join both of those to just keep up with not only Natrience communications, but all of our corporate communications, and that you can listen to these, go back and listen or watch these calls on YouTube or on our conference call line 801-704-6800 and pressing option 3. So all of these calls, this call today, just with some other things that are happening with our marketing priorities right now, this particular call will probably be up next Monday, but all the other ones are there. We had some winners last week who won the really cute Natrience tote bag. For this week's call, we are going to have a drawing. 5 winners are going to receive these super cute Natrience headbands and wristbands. And then our next call, next Wednesday, 5 winners will receive a 10-pack of Natrience catalog. So it's been fun to be able to do these drawings and send out some fun gifts. And as a thank you for joining these calls. So we hope that you will join us next week, August 7th. We have 2 more calls, August 7th and August 14th. Next week, we're going to talk a little bit about sharing Natrience and how to sell and how to share, and also some social selling ideas. So you're going to want to for sure join next week, and we'll have some really fun and informative content on sharing Natrience with others. So can I add something really quick? Just as a reminder too, I'm sorry if you said this and I missed it, but just a reminder, if you have before and after pictures, or if you could get before and after pictures of how it's working well for you on your skin, or somebody that you might know how it's working well on your skin, if you could please send those in to us as well. That would be awesome as well. So we can share those with everybody, and just help everybody be able to sell their product. Let me just wrap up real quick with just a couple of, I think, Chris, you're asking about the differences between the original exfoliant versus the new exfoliant. Let me put some information on that together for you specifically, and we can address that next week. I think we're about out of time today, but we can do that for next week. And then Maurice is just talking about in Australia, the recommendation is for an SPF 50, and I do for sure understand the strength of the sun in Australia. I think, with this product being a facial product, this product is not necessarily designed if you're going to be just outside in the sun all day long. It's part of your skincare regimen. So the SPF we feel is sufficient here. We, of course, are always looking at new product development and looking at additional sunscreen products that we can potentially add into our Sisel lineup. So just, always keep watching for new things to be coming out. And it's exciting for us to be able to share information with you on these products, and also think about some of the fun things that are in store for future products. So thanks again, everybody, for listening. We'll be excited to have you join us for our last 2 calls coming up next week and the following week. So we hope you all have a fabulous rest of your day today. And thanks again for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much.